My friends, hope you had a great day today. Let's get this video rocking and rolling so that way I don't take up too much of your time. As always, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I say is for entertainment purposes only. Also, too, if you don't follow me already, do it on Twitter. That's the easiest way to ask me quick questions, get my thoughts on things, and see intraday price action. So, wanted to cover a couple of things today. If you haven't already, I gave my thoughts on earnings yesterday. Please go back and watch that video. Overall, I thought it was fantastic. The only thing that didn't happen that I was really hoping for was some unexpected news. The reason I said that AMC wasn't very volatile when it came to earnings is because a lot of the major news was pretty much already known. They didn't significantly beat revenue or earnings per share or anything along those lines. But overall, I liked Adam Aaron's tone. I like where AMC is headed in the future, their future sources of revenue. So if you want my opinion on that, please go watch that video. Also, too, as always, if the video is helpful, please like, subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know what you think. So the first thing I want to talk about, guys, is the option chain. So on the option chain, as far as calls go, once again, I'm just talking about this week, okay? So don't be in my comments talking about, well, September. I'm only talking about this week. So right now, 19.50 and $20, 20.50 and not so much at 20.50, and then at 21. So we've got a decent amount of options that potentially could go in the money. Yes, I know that Max Payne is right around 18 or 18.50 this week. Let me double check that real quick and make sure I give you the exact number. So right now, yeah, 18. So we know how AMC usually does when it comes to Max Payne. It's usually pretty close to that. But like I said, if we start getting up into the 19.50, and especially at 20. So right now at 20, there's 16,242 open interest contracts there. And so once again, that's 100 shares per contract. And so you can just Google the AMC option chain and go take a look. And those are going to be potentially what they have to hedge for. If you come down here to the puts that are going to be, currently out of the money, there's a decent amount. There's 3,200 at 19, but really past that, there's pretty much nothing. So if we could get some real positive momentum going in the option chain, we could see a little bit of a push up there. If I go over here to the chart, you're going to be able to see that we reclaimed the 20-day EMA. We reclaimed that on Monday, and so far it has provided a nice support for us the rest of this week. So I would be looking at potentially moving up towards the 50-day, which is going to be at $20.93 as of right now. Another thing that is good is we are consolidating and holding our range on very low volume. So if you look at the Bollinger Bands, you can see that overall they're starting to get decently tight, okay? If you've been watching my videos, you know that once again, this kind of tightness that we saw up here end of October, beginning November is really what we were looking for. This is where myself and a bunch of others, really thought we might see the next leg up. And once again, the Bollinger Bands help let you know when more volatile moves might be headed your way. The consolidation on low volume is going to be important. IV is getting crushed, and so calls are not nearly as expensive as they used to be, which is going to be what bulls are looking for as far as when to load up on the option chain. So you can also see that the upper band of the Bollinger Bands is coming up to the 50-day EMA, so that is going to be right around $20.50 once again, all the way up to about that $21 range. So that's going to be pretty tough to get through. We wouldn't get through that unless we saw a significant volume. If we saw us blast through that, maybe tomorrow, and if we saw all the way up to the 24, and that would be a stretch in my opinion. I just don't see that happening. Not without insane volume. We would definitely get kicked off of that probably come Friday as far as pulling back goes. So overall, guys, everything looks good, for continued move upwards. I had a bunch of people. I made a comment today on Twitter talking about how I always saw AMC as kind of like a Tesla style squeeze, and I had a ton of people asking me, essentially what that meant. And basically, boiling it down is when you have, so Tesla is a very polarizing stock. If you follow Tesla Twitter at all, and I do because I have a ton of Tesla shares in my retirement account, Tesla is one of those stocks that is, you just have people who are like, it is amazing, and Elon Musk is, my Lord and Savior practically, and you have people who absolutely hate it, okay? AMC is the exact same way, in my opinion. You've got retail that is just buy and hold, we ain't leaving, not till we get ours, that kind of stuff. And then you have more of the traditional experts and analysts and everything along those lines that just absolutely hate it and want to short it into oblivion and tried to short it into oblivion. And so you got polar opposites. And so essentially, when, so you've got the two camps, okay? I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to explain this as best I can. So you got the two camps, essentially. And in between is going to be institutions and whales and hedge funds that are just willing to ride the wave, okay? So we've obviously, if you've been in AMC stock, we've been going through a period where it's just beaten down, beaten down, beaten down, beaten down. And what they're showing us is since January the 24th, so basically call it 6 weeks now, they have just not been able to push us down any further, okay? So when the volume is low, when the IV gets low, when the bears get exhausted, that's when these institutions and whales and hedge funds are going to flip long. They're going to load calls in the option chain, and that is when you're going to, really see some more, bullish moves and bullish momentum. I think once we start getting back up into the 20s is going to be nice. Like I've talked about before, this big resistance line right here that gets lower and lower and lower every single day, but has had multiple. Let me clear some of this stuff out here, my friends, so that way you guys can see a little bit better. But I've talked multiple times how we start getting on the northern side of this resistance line, we start getting back up into that kind of $28 to $30 range, and that's when we could really see some good moves, especially if we see some good volume. So far, our bullish engulfing candle that we talked about, followed up by the doji candle, is playing nice. We're seeing upward movement. We want to continue to see that. A max pain beat this week. We beat it last week. A max pain beat this week would be awesome. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be looking for heading into the next few days. So I think, if we start getting up into these, 20, especially if we can start, really cracking up into the $20 range, like I said, that $20.50 to $21 range, that's going to be what I'm looking for the rest of this week as far as, bullish moves. And like I said, guys, we got some grinding to do. I know that's not what people want to hear. I mean, I thought AMC earnings was fantastic yesterday. I saw a lot of whining and crying and complaining today. That accomplishes nothing. The reality is we didn't lose. We lost, right here. Essentially, we lost all the way down to 70%. Let me get it right on the nose. But that took 50 trading days, okay? So we didn't just one day lose 70%. We're not just going to gain 70% in one day, not without, some type of major catalyst or anything along those lines. Once again, I do think big moves can happen. They can happen quickly. AMC has a history of that, but there's going to be certain levels and certain things that we have to get through first. So overall, I know it's not what people want to hear, but these low volume consolidation periods, is going to be what we're looking for. And you can see the moving average of the Bollinger Band area acted as support today. If we do see downside in the overall market in AMC, I think I missed the downside call of 1750 by like 20 cents today or something like that. Let's see, what was the low of today? $17.31, and I said it would be $17.50. So apologies for the 19-cent miss. So heading into tomorrow, pushing back up past the 236 at about $18.88. And then once again, pushing all the way up to, right around that $20. That's what I'm going to be looking for bullish wise. Downside wise, once again, we'd want the 382 at that 1750 range to hold. If not, then we'd want the 0.5 at $16.77, and then all the way down here to our golden pocket area at $16. I really don't see that being a possibility, not unless the overall market just absolutely gets hammered. Russia news comes out. Once again, you guys know the deal on that. AMC is not going to be immune to overall market news. Also, too, I know it's forbidden for me to talk about GameStop at all because I am not just a GameStop, maxi that popcorn's a distraction. God, those guys are the worst, aren't they? But GameStop, Ryan Cohen tweeted out today talking about how the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He's well known that he has a ton of Apple shares. I think I saw that he is the largest individual shareholder of Apple. And Apple today released a announcement that they were going to be doing a massive virtual. Let me just go to my Twitter to make sure that. Yeah, right here. Yeah, so Cohen tweets out about the apple not falling far from the tree. Apple announces a virtual product launch event on 3/8. And I said I would be adding to my GME position soon. I am going to do that definitely before Tuesday of next week. And then once again, here's the official announcement from Apple. So I believe that GameStop and AMC, yes, the float is lower for GameStop, yada, 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 yada. I believe they're all in the same meme basket. I believe they will all squeeze. I do think GameStop has a potential to go higher, but that is why I'm invested in both, because nobody knows, and anybody who tells you that they know is a liar. Don't believe them, all right? So that's everything I got for you today, my friends. Stay safe, be kind. I will see you tomorrow. Let's get some more bullish action going. That sounds like fun to me. Y'all have a good one.